You're not in control of the situation because you're thinking only of tactics. You're only reacting to what the world gives you. That is hell, my friend. And that is a hell that most people are involved in. In my war book, I had an idea because basically what I tried to do in the 33 strategies of war was to take kind of the great strategies that generals and military people have used throughout the century, kind of these great patterns of thinking and strategizing, and finding a way to connect it to our daily lives. So how can I apply Napoleon Bonaparte in my office life, in my daily work, which wasn't easy for me, but I worked very hard to create that. And so delving so deeply into the military world, into the world of warfare, there's obviously one of the first things that you encounter is the difference between strategy and tactics. And you think at first it's pretty much a military thing with limited application. But the more you think about it, the more it involves everything in the world going on. It involves you personally. It's not about armies and battles. It's about how you think. The difference is tactics involve reacting to what the other person, the other side, the enemy, your rivals, your colleagues are presenting to you. They're in your face, they're doing A. You have to think, what do I do now? All right, I'm going to do B, I'm going to react, I'm going to go here, or I'm going to go there, right? And then they're going to react to what you do, and then you're going to react to what they do. And so it goes on and on and on like a ping pong game, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you're never getting anywhere, and your life's a mess. You have no control over your career, your boss isn't listening to you, your ideas, your marketing campaigns they kind of fizzle out, etc. Nothing ever kind of reaches the goals that you wanted to because you're locked in this goddamn tactical hell, this ping pong game of I do A, they do B, I do C, bump, 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 bump. You have no control over it. It's like the gods or the fates are controlling you. You're like a puppet being held there. You're not in control of the situation because you're thinking only of tactics. You're only reacting to what the world gives you. That is hell, my friend. And that is a hell that most people are involved in. All they ever do is react to what other people are doing. And believe me, I saw this in business. It was a shocking experience for me to be on the board of directors of a company like American Apparel, which was a very successful company in its day, and to see these very powerful businessmen only able to react to the quarterly report, to what Wall Street was saying, to what the latest press release was saying. They couldn't get their heads out of their asses. They couldn't look ahead and see 1 year down the road, 2 years down the road. Where's the company heading? How can I make a decision that maybe will earn the company more money in 12 months rather than just reacting to kind of pump up the quarterly report? It's infesting all aspects of our world, in politics, etc. People are locked in tactical hell. And the only way to get out of that hell of continual reaction and constant emotion is to think strategically. So hell is here, you're reacting back and forth. Strategy is here, you raise your mind up, you're getting out of that hell and you're thinking further along. And then there's grand strategy, which is a godlike power, which is where the greatest strategists in the world, they reside. There's maybe only 20 or 30 of them in history, but it's the ultimate area and it's what we should all be aiming for. And what strategy basically is very simple. I've defined it for you. It's the ability to raise your mind above the daily battles that you're facing and to be able to see longer term, to say to yourself, you know, these are my interests. This is what I need to do. Sometimes reacting is pointless. All it does is it drains me of energy. I'm not going to react. Instead, I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen and I'm going to go my own way. All right, that's one thing that could happen. Or you can say, instead of reacting, I'm going to go, instead of they hit me here and I hit back, I'm going to go like that, right? Because I figured out there's another way of approaching them from the side that's going to surprise them. And suddenly they're going to react in a totally different way. You've changed the dynamics of the games because you're not thinking in straight lines. You're trying to go around. You're thinking of other ways of approaching the problem. You're thinking in terms of 6 months, 8 months, a year down the road. Is it important for me to get involved with this person, to get involved with this petty battle? There's an expression in military terms, which is now in our general language, it's called a Pyrrhic victory. And a Pyrrhic victory means You won this battle, but it was so bloody and it cost you so much drama and so much blood and so much emotional energy that it wasn't worth it. It's a victory that you win, but in the end costs you more in winning than it would have been in actually losing. And so many people in this world are involved in Pyrrhic victories. They do these petty things on social media where they try and prove the other person is wrong, and they get involved in all these kind of emotional things, and maybe they win, etc. But what kind of winning is that? You look at the larger picture, okay? My winning is, in 2 years, I've positioned myself here for my company, my book, my business venture to be at this point that I determined is the maximal position of power, right? I'm gonna get there. And then knowing that, you can avoid all the little battles that people are throwing at you. You know what really matters is this, not this, 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 this. I'm gonna aim there. It eliminates all this other useless energy that you're wasting in life, fighting all of these battles, etc. It's giving you direction and purpose and a goal and focus that will really, really be powerful. And then, if you're able to lift your mind even further to a higher level, to the Zen master level, you're thinking 5, 10 years down the road. You're seeing down the road, you're seeing the whole big picture. You're seeing what was known as the zeitgeist, what's going on in the world right now, all the major cultural trends. And you know that this is where the world is headed. I'm going to be ahead of the curve. I'm going to be like 5 years down the road. I see where things are going in technology. I'm going to create that now. You have even a larger vision than most people. And I compare it to climbing up a mountain, right? When you're at the foot of the mountain, you have no perspective on the landscape. All you can see are the trees, the forests, the boulders, etc. It's all a mess, just a kind of a visual blur. You climb up a mile up on that mountain, and suddenly you look down and you go, wow, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that. It's a totally different vision, right? It's not like the blurry picture. It's not like that tactical battlefield down below. It's got this other perspective, this other landscape. Okay, you go 2 miles up above and suddenly it appears even different than below. Suddenly you're seeing more things. You're seeing a wider vista. You get to the top of the mountain, you're seeing everything around you. And you realize that what you saw down below wasn't reality. It was this distorted picture. The higher you go, the clearer the picture of reality that you can form. And so when you're locked in battles all the time, all you're doing is getting emotional and you have no sense of what is really going on, of what the reality is. It's like the smoke from a battlefield is engulfing you. The ability to lift your mind up gives you clarity, gives you a more realistic appraisal, gives you greater perspective, and it gives you the ultimate kind of power in this world.